into a huge day for Bitcoin, hovering on the edge of a cliff. In fact, it's such a big day that I've even got a haircut for the occasion. Jerome Powell will be speaking at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I will be streaming it here on the channel. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you got the notification bell switched on, because sometimes YouTube does not notify for my live streams. Guys, we've got a big day today. Bitcoin is literally hovering at a key level. It's waiting to get some direction, and it has been pretty much all week. We got one piece of data out yesterday, which was a revision of the GDP. We'll recap that. But more importantly, we're going to get the PCE data, the inflation data. Then we're going to get Jerome Powell speaking, and that's going to dictate which direction we're going to move on. Remember, this market is like a little crybaby right now. It's crying. It needs Jerome Powell to say, it's okay, you can rally, or no rally, right? It just doesn't have a mind of its own. And that's why we saw in July, when Jerome Powell came out a little bit dovish, we saw a move to the upside. And now they're waiting for some more permission from Jerome Powell to say, oh, Jerome Powell, is it okay if we carry on rallying? And we know, obviously, crypto is heavily correlated right now to the equity markets, and that's just how it's going. So let's take a quick look at the equity markets. We can see pre-markets opening up slightly red here. Again, just continued nerves here in the market. We're also going to take a look at the volatility index and the dollar index, so make sure you stay tuned for that as well. Now, remember, guys, these videos are brought to you by CoinPanel. Do go check out CoinPanel. I'm using CoinPanel for a lot of my trading now because you can connect all your different exchanges. So when you go through the setup process on CoinPanel, it will ask you to connect your exchanges, and you can just plug them all in. And once you're done, you can then execute all your trades and see your combined portfolio in one place as well. So absolute no-brainer. You can connect it all. It'll execute on the best exchange, which gives you the best price as well, all for you. So you just have to connect it once. You don't have to log into your Binance and then log into your BYBIT, log into your OKX. You can do it all through one platform. And the other great thing, which we know is with this, you can see your full portfolio, right? You can see the stats. You can see everything going on with it. You can set your stop losses, take profits. You can also see my charts, which I've been sharing with you guys on CoinPanel. So definitely check that out. Links in description to CoinPanel. They got a 5-day free trial for you to actually test it without any risk to you. So at least go check it out, see if it is for you. Now, Bitcoin. We're seeing this bearish continuation pattern, right? Bearish continuation pattern. Look at this 4-hourly chart. We're now starting to run into resistance from our EMA ribbon, right? We got that resistance from the EMA ribbon and we run back down to the downside. We've been monitoring this bear flag all week, guys. And if you guys are experienced, hopefully you've taken a good few trades in this channel and made some really nice profits, because it's been really predictable action. I mean, if I put it on the hourly chart, look how predictable this has been every single time, respecting our bull flag. And again, a bit of support coming in now. But now this is when I think it'll start to decouple from this. We're either going to get a big fall to the downside, which, remember, a conservative target is taking it from here, guys. This is conservative. If I take this measured move from here, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if I pop that there at the point of breakout, let's just say we put that there. This is me being very conservative on all accounts. That brings you to 19,000 here, okay? So that's what we're looking at here from this bearish continuation pattern. Now, if you were to take the bigger move, some people can argue you could take the measured move from all the way to the top. Then the targets get a little bit nastier. But let's just focus on the conservative one for now, 19,000, if we get some bad news from Jerome Powell. Now, what do I mean by bad news? Well, the first thing we need to understand is GDP was revised. We covered that off yesterday. If you didn't watch the videos from yesterday, that's been revised from minus 0.9% to minus 0.6. In other words, we're in less of a recession, apparently, than previously stipulated. Now, what does that mean? The market's not going to take that as a positive. The market's going to say, oh, that means Jerome Powell can be more aggressive with rate hikes. Okay, and that is why if you head over to the Fed Rate Monitor tool, this started notching up. In other words, more people started pricing in the fact that we're going to get 75 basis points again. Remember this rally we had a couple of weeks ago? That rally was happening on the premise, on the key premise. It was nothing to do, it wasn't to do with anything else. It's on the key premise that Jerome Powell will not do 75 basis points again. Remember, everybody was tweeting that and thinking this could be the last 75 basis point rate hike. That was that euphoria. That is why we saw the markets have that brief rally. But now that the market's starting to think, hang on a second, he might do 75 basis points again, because GDP wasn't as bad as we previously thought, according to their numbers, which I don't believe, by the way. And also the labor market wasn't showing that many unemployment claims. So Jerome Powell can come out today and say, yep, the economy is looking good, labor market's still good, we've seen inflation notch down, which is good, but we want to continue to do that. We want to continue being aggressive. We want to stand in front of inflation, use all of our tools necessary to bring it down. So these are the kind of things the market's now expecting. And after his comments, it'll be interesting to see how this reflects. Will he give us any clues? Will he come out hawkish, in which case even more the market will price in this, I read in the market? Or will he come across dovish, which I don't expect, but maybe he'll surprise us, come out a little bit dovish saying, yeah, we've been doing really well here, inflation's coming down, I'm really happy with that, or maybe telegraph the fact that he may lower his rate hike, and then the market could rally. That is our positive case. And if we do see a rally, that is when we can come work our way to the top of channel and break past 20 and hold above 20. That would be good news here for Bitcoin. Any recovery would need us above 20 and holding above 20. That is a good win for Bitcoin. So if you can get that, that is a scenario. But for now, I hate to be a pessimist, but I'm just thinking, I'm not sure how Jerome Powell can come out and be dovish. I just can't see that unless there's some political agenda there, or he's had a word in his ear to don't damage the markets. We need the markets healthy for political reasons. That's our only hope here, that we can get some positive move to the upside. Also, important to understand, we're going to get our PCE data. PCE data for July is going to come out in June. We had 6.8% on the PCE. Now, what does that mean? 6.8% is all the way up here. We're expecting that to come down to 6.2% forecasted. If you see this come down, that is good news, okay? That's similar to the CPI data, because the Fed take the PCE data into consideration. So this is really, really important. No doubt Jerome Powell would have already seen it before preparing his remarks. So we need to see, does this notch down? If this notches down nicely towards 6.2%, that means we've had CPI notch down and we've had PCE data, which is more corroboration of the idea that inflation is starting to come down. Remember, Jerome Powell doesn't just want one reading to come down. He wants to see multiple readings. He said, I want to see consistent evidence of inflation returning back to our 2% rate. And we're nowhere near there yet, right? If we look at the CPI data, we've just had one notch down. So we've got to put things into perspective there as well. A few more things to look out for in the market before I wrap up on the Bitcoin chart. You've got to take a look at this, because algorithmic stablecoin USDN falls from dollar peg as liquidity slumps. Stablecoin fell to 0.91. Again, guys, you've got to be careful with these algorithmically backed stablecoins. Stay very, very clear of these. Again, use them as a necessary evil and then get out of them. You should not be carrying any serious amount of money in any of these stablecoins, particularly algorithmically backed. Nobody's figured this out yet. Nobody has figured this out yet. Three Arrows Capital co-founder calls crypto hedge fund liquidations inaccurate. Misleading report. Three Arrows Capital co-founder Suzu said Tinio misled the High Court of Singapore, which this week granted permission for the liquidator to probe the hedge fund's local assets. That saga continues over with Suzu. Interesting point here with the Suzu findings. Remember, if you as creditors get your money back, he's going to get his money back too. He's one of the key creditors of the company, right, of Three Arrows Capital. So he's going to get a bunch of money back too. So he wants money to be returned. He doesn't want it to go elsewhere or file into complete bankruptcy. So interesting there. Now, let's get straight back into the charts, which I just closed, but we'll bring that back up for us. And we want to look at the VPVR. Now, if I bring on the VPVR, and I want to do that on the 4-hourly time frame, you can see this is a key area, right? So either way, if we're going to fall, by the way, another conservative target, if you fall from this bear flag, if you treat it as almost like a rising wedge, is you fall to the bottom of the wedge, right? And the bottom of the wedge will bring you to about 20,700. That's really conservative. More likely, if we break to the downside of this wedge, you'll be expecting more prices around the levels I was saying, which is trying to breach 20,000 and go towards 19,000 when we use the flagpole approach. But you can see if we do get some good news, which I still think is unlikely, volumes do get thin after 20,000, right? So we would have a nice little move here to fill this gap from when we fell so dramatically on that Friday. We could recover that quickly. So you don't want to get caught out by this situation here if we get some bullish news as well. If I bring out the Bollinger Band, you will see here on the 4-hourly Bollinger Band, we did get rejected from the top, back down to the bottom, but you're expecting a little bit of support to come in from the bottom of this wedge and the bottom of this Bollinger Band. If we switch across to the daily, you will see what's happening here. On the daily, you've managed to pick up a little bit of support from your Bollinger Band from the bottom here when we entered our rising wedge, right? We had a big dump on that Friday. We managed to pick up a bit of support. That's where we've been consolidating in this bearish continuation pattern. And now the question is, are we going to go and follow our Bollinger Band to the downside here? Are we going to retrace down towards there? Or are we going to manage to climb towards the center line of our Bollinger Band? That's what we're looking for. What am I doing in the markets? I'm sitting back. I'm sitting tight and I'm chilling. I've set a few limit orders, right? At crazy prices. I've put in a couple of limit orders around. I've got a small limit order at 20. If we hit 20, then I've got some at 19. I've got some at 18. If we hit those levels, great. I'm going to top up some BTC and Ethereum, and I'll look at which other altcoins I'm short on. But other than that, I'm not going to be trading this move. I think there's a lot of volatility in this move. I personally don't have the time to be sitting there watching the charts today. We're going to be live streaming the event as well. If you guys are experienced traders, feel free to trade that. You can use the links in the description to BYBIT or BitGet to claim your bonuses. But for now, in terms of my long-term portfolio, I'm happy to take this opportunity if Jerome Powell wants to crash the markets here on a Friday to buy the dip. So for me, anything below 20, I'm nibbling, and the lower it gets, 19, 18, I will nibble more and more aggressively. If we run on the news, great, let it run. Like I said, I'm heavily in the market now, and I don't have FOMO. I'm happy with my position in the market, and if we have a rally from here, Great stuff. Hope you guys appreciate this video. Don't forget to smash up the like button and subscribe. Don't forget to check out CoinPanel. Link is in the description to get yourself set up on there for 5 days completely for free to try it out and see what you think. You also see my chart patterns over there as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Go watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.